do what you can to make it happen, if possible. Hey, what's up? It's your college life coach here, Alicia, and today the topic that we're going to be talking about, you're going to college, so now what do you do once you've committed to college? So regardless of which college that you end up going to, there are going to be some commonalities of things that you're going to have to get taken care of before you go. So this is just a little checklist that I want you to kind of think about what you've done and what you haven't done yet, and then we'll see how we can move you forward. So we're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about living on and off campus. We're going to be talking about orientation and advising and registration. So those are kind of the main things that you got to make sure you get taken care of. Ideally, the sooner the better. So the first one is money. You got to get your ish together when it comes to money. A lot of times, students will go to college and not even have any idea of how they're going to pay for it. So that is the one thing I'd like to prevent if possible. We really want you to know how you're going to pay for college. Is it going to be through student loans? Are you paying out of pocket? Are you paying with Pell Grants or other kind of grants or scholarships? What is the actual cost, the sticker price, that you're going to have to pay? Because even though everyone pays the same price, that's not really true. So your college bill is going to look different than mine did when I was in college, and your college bill is going to look different than maybe your best friend who's going to college at the same university or institution that you're at. So you want to make sure that you know you have a financial aid award letter, and that is basically going to tell you what money that you're getting from the federal government, your state, and then also the institution that you're going to, as well as any other outside scholarships or free money or student loans that you're going to get. Once you take all of that into consideration, whatever is left is technically your bill. Or you can decide not to take out student loans and pay for that out of pocket. Maybe you can get a part-time job, maybe you've saved up money over the past couple years, maybe your family's going to be able to help you out a little bit. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do this, but you want to know what it is and how to figure that out. So that is like so important. I talk to so many students who get to college and I'm like, oh, tell me a little bit about how you're paying for college, and they have no idea. I know that sounds so weird, but it does happen. So try your best to make sure that doesn't have to happen to you, and that you can be a little bit more proactive in what you're actually giving to the university or the community college. The second thing that we're going to talk about is living on or off campus. So you really got to figure out, where are you going to live when you're going to college? There are kind of three different ways that most students choose to live. So you can live on campus, you can live off campus in an apartment, or you can live off campus with your family. And so depending on what that looks like for you, whatever's the best situation for you financially, or whatever you kind of need to do, or whatever you're more interested in and can make happen, that's what you do. I'm going to try to do a video on the differences between living on and off campus, and then off campus with a family member as well, just because there are some differences and there are ways that you can make the most of each of those, whatever you choose. So stay tuned for that. You have to get all that stuff taken care of. So whether it be signing a lease, signing your housing contract, or talking about it with your family. Sometimes your family might even expect you to pay, and so how do you figure that out? How do you negotiate that and figure out ways to manage that? The next thing that I want to talk about is orientation. So not every institution has an orientation, but I want to say almost all of them have some type of orientation. I've heard it called Welcome Week, or Welcome Day. They'll have Welcome Days, or Preview Days, but orientation is really a place where students can go and learn a lot about the different opportunities on campus. You can learn about resources on campus. You're able to talk to faculty, to staff that work there, like me, and you also get to meet your advisor. And so we'll talk about that in a second. But orientation is just a really great way to get to know the campus that you're about to attend. And there are some that are just optional. If they are optional, please choose to go. It might be a waste of your time. I really don't think it will be. There's something, at least one thing that you can take away from that you didn't know before. And I think they're really beneficial. do what you can to make it happen, if possible. So the next thing that I want to talk about is advising and getting registered for courses. So this is really important because obviously you can't go to college if you're not registered for classes. And so meeting with an academic advisor is crucial to your success as a college student, and it's just crucial. So especially as a first-year student, you really don't know what to take. Even if you do a lot of research and trying to figure it out on your own, it's really the best place to do it is to go see your academic advisor. A lot of times this will actually happen at orientation, or you have the opportunity to meet with somebody at orientation. But if not, or even if you do and you still have more questions, you can always email your academic advisor. There are different ways that you can look that person up. But a lot of institutions, you can Google them, or if you've been getting emails, you should definitely be checking your email, because if you have anything that is due, or if your academic advisor is trying to get in touch with you to make an appointment or to connect with you, that's how they're going to connect with you, is that email. Your institution email, not your email that you signed up or you applied with. So that's really important. Later on, we'll also have a video about how to make the most out of your academic advising session, because there are some ways that you can be more proactive in how you approach that meeting, and it can be really incredibly helpful for you as a student to know and take ownership of your academic journey. So as I talked about before, I'm going to offer you 3 different steps that you can take at least in every video, and in this particular video it's going to be 4. First thing to do is to review what we just talked about, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to be researching it, checking your email, checking your mailbox to figure out what's going on. If you don't know how you're going to pay for college or what that cost is going to look like for you, you can ask questions. So that actually leads me to the second one, to make a connection with somebody on campus. So this could be an orientation leader that you met during orientation. It can be your academic advisor. If you have questions about your financial aid or about how you're paying for college, you can actually email somebody from the financial aid office and try to make an appointment with them and go to that meeting. If you are living far away, you can always see if you can do a Skype session, or if you can just do a phone meeting for a few minutes just to really understand what you're getting yourself into. I highly recommend doing that if you're unsure. That's actually something that I did whenever I first went to college. I had a ton of questions about the financial aid process, and so my dad did as well. He didn't know what the heck was going on, and he was really supportive, luckily, in my journey. So I sat in with a financial aid advisor, and I was like, look, is there any other way? Like, this is my GPA in high school. This is what I got on my ACT, which wasn't very good, by the way. My high school GPA was pretty good, but not my ACT. And anyways, I was like, oh, are there any other scholarships? Because I really was nervous about taking out student loans. It did help me kind of understand what I had to pay at the end of when all of those things were taken care of. After I took out loans and I had a scholarship, after all of that, I still had some money left over that I had to pay. And so that way, my dad walked out of that meeting, my dad and I, with, okay, this is what we have left to pay. We will figure this out. The third thing that you can do is check your email right now. If you haven't done it in a couple weeks, check your email. If you've never done it, you need to go ahead and create an account. If you haven't done so yet, check your email. And that's just a whole nother thing. I probably should do a video on that as well. And then the 4th tip that I would suggest that you can do. So the number 1 was make sure that you've done everything that we talked about in this video, or that you at least have some ideas of when that's going to happen. Number 2 is make a connection with somebody on campus. Number 3 is check your email. And number 4 is comment below on this video and let me know what kind of questions that you do have. If you're unsure about anything related to college, please don't hesitate to ask. I love this stuff, and a lot of other students probably have the same question that you do or concern, so please don't hesitate to do that. So that's going to be it for this video. I really appreciate you for watching and sticking with this, and I hope it was really helpful. Please let me know if it was. So as always, let's find your passion and make it happen.